Economics at Johns Hopkins University. Francesco, thank you so much for being with us. So how important is it for monetary policy to work in tandem with fiscal policy in order to curb inflation? Because a lot of people focus heavily on the monetary policy aspect of it, including interest rate hikes, but not enough focus on the fiscal policy element.
No, it's an excellent question. So our starting point is that persistent movements in inflation are ultimately a fiscal phenomenon. So our starting point is the analysis of the inflation in the 1960s and 1970s. There was a persistent period of high inflation. And what we point out is that certainly monetary policy was dovish, but this was also combined with a rapid acceleration in spending with big welfare programs. And what we argue is that when you want to bring down inflation that has a fiscal nature, that is the result of overspending, you need cooperation of both the monetary and fiscal authorities, exactly because of what you were saying. Because if the monetary authority is certainly able to push the economy in a recession if it wants to, but this can backfire in a couple of years if the result is further debt accumulation, and this further debt accumulation is also going to lead to what we call fiscal inflation.
So if you think about, the countries around the world that are dealing with super high inflation, I was just talking about the UK inflation's at 10%. What's at stake if you tighten monetary policy, which obviously a lot of governments are doing in the form of higher interest rates, but you at the same time allow spending to sort of run away with itself? What's at stake for the global economy here?
Yeah, I think that's a very dangerous path that we might be taking because we could enter what we call this fiscal stagflation dynamics, for which you have the central bank that is adamant bringing inflation down, that is trying hard and it tries to increase rates, push the economy, cool down the economy. At the same time, you have a force that moves in the opposite direction. And so you basically have that you keep slowing down the economy, but at the same time, you're not really addressing the root cause of inflation, that is a lack of long-run fiscal sustainability. And so here, I think what I want to be clear is not that we need to increase taxes like crazy immediately and instantaneously, but at the very least, we should have a plan for the medium run of how we are going to deal with the rapid accumulation of debt that we saw in the US and in many other countries, and especially in the UK. The UK has some additional problems due to the conflict in Ukraine and also to the fact that part of its debt is indexed to inflation.
So what do you make of how the US is tackling inflation? I'm just curious whether or not you think that your thoughts on sort of monetary policy and fiscal policy sort of working in tandem, being married together, should be a greater part of the US economic policy. On the one hand, obviously, we know that the US is raising interest rates in this country. However, at the same time, just recently, the US also unveiled a massive, super expensive climate change bill that was very expensive, in the billions of dollars. Just walk us through your thoughts on how the US is handling this inflation crisis that it finds itself in.
Yeah, I think at the very least, it's fair to say that US policymakers are sending some ambiguous signals. So the central bank, the Federal Reserve, has been very forceful in its claim that it's going to bring inflation down, that it's going to increase rates, even if this means an increase in unemployment. On the fiscal side, I feel like the signals are a little bit less clear. And just to be precise here, it is totally fine to have an ambitious plan for the transition to the green economy, as long as we have a clear path of how we are going to finance it. And the US has already a fiscal situation that in the long run is not stable, in the sense there are already commitments to a large amount of spending. And to add to this additional amount of spending without, again, making clear how these programs will be financed, it can be a little bit risky. Again, I want to be clear here, I'm not taking a political stance. You can definitely implement these programs as long as you know how you are going to finance them. And, typically this is done through taxation.
Francesco Bianchi, Life was there. Thank you so much for being on the program.